It's kind of giving grandmama. Hey YouTube babes, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiara Lareese. Today we're going to be doing full coverage makeup. I want to look like my Sims avatar today. And we're going to be chatting about friendships. First I'm going to skin prep because I didn't skin prep. I washed my face and I did my brows, but I didn't skin prep. And I'm going to go in with the Vino Calm and Restore Oat Gel Moisturizer. This is the best moisturizer for makeup, I think. Now I'm going to take some hyaluronic acid. I have a confession to make today. I do not have a best friend. Oh, I know, crazy, right? Crazy. So growing up, I was like a social butterfly. I would say I've always been introverted. Like, I'm an introvert to the T. My DNA is introvert. But as a child, I never had a problem with like making friends or anything at all. Like, I feel like each stage in my life I had a childhood friend. The neighborhood that I grew up in, for some reason the families moved in and out. So each year I would have a different set of friends. And I've never had a problem making friends. I've always had friends as a kid. Now I'm going to go in with the Refi Glow and Scope Primer. I feel like everything changed going into my middle school years. Let's give some backstory. So my parents are older. My mom had me when she was in her early 40s, I think. Me having social media as a kid was out of the question. All of my peers, they were starting to get phones. They were starting to get on social media. They were starting to get Instagrams and Snapchats. And I had none of that. Didn't have a phone, didn't have anything. They will relate on a different level that I could not relate on. So I would go to school and all my friends would be talking about what happened on Snapchat, what happened on Instagram, what happened on Twitter, what happened on Facebook, and I had none of that. So at this point, this is where I started to feel disconnected from my peer group. You may be thinking, Tiara, what the heck does this have to do with you not having a best friend now? And we're getting to it. So I felt disconnected from my peer group and my friends because I felt like I could not relate to other kids my age. Like, it was just very weird. I felt like I was growing up in a way different generation than all the other kids. Like, completely different lifestyle. Time passes, I'm now in high school. I do not keep in touch with any of my middle school classmates, but I have a best friend in high school. Shout out to Destiny, if you're out there somewhere. In 9th grade, I had a best friend. I was considering her my best friend at this time, but I felt like we had no connection outside of school, outside of class. We had all our classes together, but outside of class, there was nothing. We did not hang out after school or anything. Like, the year ends, the next year comes, we're sophomores, and she has a completely different friend group. Because over the summer, some things happened. I guess over the summer she met some kids, and now we're in completely different friend groups. She has her own friend group. I have acquaintances over here that I talk to. Best friend gone. Graduate high school, no best friend. And then we segue on to now adulthood, no best friend. I feel like in the beginning, like at age 18, 19, 20, I was super embarrassed about it. Like, I would get offended if someone bring it up. It would pierce my heart if someone bring it up. Like, when I would get in arguments with family members and then it would be like the thing that they would try to use against me, I would feel very hurt about it. Like, oh my god. Let's get into the makeup. Okay, I'm going to take my Skims tape because we're going to get a little funky with the eyes. I'm going to go in with some concealer on my lids to prime. I'm not doing anything crazy or artistic with my eyes, but I do want them to have a little pizzazz. I'm going to take this like brownish red shade and we're going to go right into the crease, right? So, yeah, I felt ashamed about it. Like, you know how they say everyone has an opinion, everyone has a best friend. Like, okay, I'm priming with the Fenty Pro Filter Insta Retouch Primer. The reason I brought the social media aspect into it is because while growing up not being a social media kid shaped me into like the personality and the person I am now. I have a decent personality. I feel like I have a decent personality, and I'm not super social media focused. And I feel like I have a lot of qualities that other Gen Zers or people my age don't have. No shade. No shade. All of that is because I didn't grow up as a social media kid, but that also was a downfall for me socially. Like, my social skills are terrible. It's super easy for me to connect with people older than me, but connecting with people my age, that's where it gets tough. That's where it gets tough. I was super embarrassed about not having a best friend or like a close friend. I would scroll TikTok sometimes and I would see like these friend groups that would go on vacations together, have brunches and all that. I was like, oh, I don't have that. And I also think it's because I have not met someone who I relate to and who is similar to me. I'm not talking about 100% similar to me. I'm talking about like have the same interests as me. I have not come in contact or met anyone as of yet that has similar interests as me. Let's get into concealer. I'm going in with Too Faced. We're going in with Too Faced for the base today. And I'm taking the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Honey. And I'm also taking the shade Mocha. I don't want to use too much because you know Too Faced concealers, they're tough. I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. And I'm using the shade Mocha in the shade Chai. Chai is a little too dark for me. Mocha is my shade, but it looks weird. I guess the undertone is off. So I like to mix them both. I'm contouring with the Thread Facing Complexion Stick in the shade Deep Cool Brown. And this is everywhere I placed it. Get into it, get into it. Also, wait. Also, my concealer wasn't bright enough for me. If I'm doing full coverage makeup, the concealer has to concealer. The concealer has to be bright. So let me give you a tip. If you have a concealer that's not light enough, you want it to be a little bit brighter, get the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade White and just mix a little bit in. If you hear barking in the background, my dogs are in the backyard and they're going crazy. I'm going to give you the advice that I give myself. This advice is what makes me so unbothered about not having a best friend. Like, someone could literally walk up to me today and be like, that's why you don't have a best friend. That's why you don't have any close friends like that. And I would laugh because it's like, so what? So start liking yourself. Start liking being with yourself. And that was the biggest thing for me. I think in the past, I was so desperate for a friend because I was so desperate to get a friend. Not only because of the embarrassment, but I felt like I needed someone else. Like, I needed someone else to be with me because I did not like myself. I was very insecure about myself. I was very insecure about the fact that I wasn't like a typical girl my age. You know that SZA song, Normal Girl? That was like my anthem. That was like my anthem. Like, I'm like, why can't I be normal? Why can't I be like one of those normal girls with a friend group? But you have to realize that isn't most girls normal. That isn't most people's normal. Most people in the world do not have a big friend group. Even the people who have big friend groups, a lot of those people can't even call up one of their friends in a time of need. A lot of them are being left high and dry by the people that they call their friends. Not the sirens. I think we all can benefit from liking ourselves. Falling into like with your own personality. Like, that is what I have done. Like, I like myself so much. I like myself so much that I prioritize everything about me. Learning to like yourself just puts you in so much of a peaceful mindset. For blush, I'm taking this Refi blush in the shade Cherry. It's a cream blush. It looks messy, but it's cute. Like, let's get into the second piece of advice. The second piece of advice is learn to build connections with people without expecting friendship. When I started getting out into this world, I was very desperate I felt like I was very desperate for that connection, for a friend. When I started my job, the job that I'm currently working at, I like any form of niceness, I interpreted that as, oh, I'm gonna be this person's friend. It might hurt to hear in the beginning, but not everyone that you come in contact with is gonna be your friend. One time, let me tell you the story. One time, when I first started working at where I work at, it felt like it was the second day. On the second day, this girl complimented my pants, and I thought, we're gonna be best friends. Like, this is gonna be my best friend. We're around the same age. I think she was a little bit older, so it's inevitable. Like, this is gonna happen. Like, this is how friendships happen. Like, we're gonna be best friends by the end of the month. It's been a whole year and a half later, and we're high and by. Not every connection you make is meant to last, and not every connection you make is meant to turn into something bigger. So now you already have the foundation of liking your own personality, liking yourself, learning about yourself, and learning what makes you happy, and learning all the things that makes you content. And then coupled with not expecting connection from other people. So I'm going to set up the Laura Mercier powder, and we're going to segue into my third piece of advice. I don't know if you would call this advice or just a conclusion, but my third piece of advice is, what's meant to be will be. And then I'm going to set my contour with the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker in the shade Caramel Cutie. What I meant by that is, if there's a person out there that you're supposed to connect with on the deepest level, that person will eventually come into your life. And that's how I think of it. Like, I feel like I do have a best friend out there. Like, I have someone who has similar interests as me, who's just a great person all around, who I'm meant to eventually connect with and have like that friendship type that best friend type of connection with. I believe that that's the case for everyone. Regardless of where you are at right now, regardless of your age, like, it doesn't matter if you're in your early 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, and you haven't found your best friend yet. Friendship wise, there is someone out there who's in the same situation as me. They might not have a best friend, or they might not have close connections with the friends that they have now. And they're looking just like me. Like, they're like, I want a best friend too. And we'll eventually connect together, whether that's a month from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now. It'll happen. I put on some lashes. Now, for lashes, if you're curious about what lashes I use, get a big palette like this, and sometimes I wear a pair on its own. Sometimes I splice them and connect them together, create my own pair of lashes. Sometimes I stack them. It's just always random. But I would suggest that, like, this is a word of advice. Instead of going to Target and getting a $10 pair of lashes, go to Amazon, get a big palette like this, and make your own. Like, I sprayed my face down. I soaked my face down with this. You know, this is my favorite. And then now I'm gonna add a little bit of this. Set everything in place. In conclusion, if you are like me and you do not have a best friend, you do not have a solid connection with someone, and you feel like you are alone, like you are a loser, you are a weirdo, you are everything under the sun, do not stress yourself out about it. It happens to the best of us. Now I'm going to take my hair down. So yeah, and don't be so desperate. That looks nice. That looks nice. And don't be so desperate for it that you end up in a friendship that you shouldn't be in. Wait. It's kind of giving grandmama. Wait, that's kind of eating the girls up. But yeah, that is it. To all my girlies out there, please find a hobby that you really love. Get into it, because I feel like that's the best way. To really find and build connections with other girls, with other girly girls. That's what I'm planning on doing. This is the final makeup look. This is the final hair look. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed my channel. I'll see you guys in my next post coming soon. See you guys next time. Bye.